The sun is coming right there in the center of the screen. Good morning. Where that man is walking just above him. We delayed a little bit here because it was taking its time with all the haze to become visible. I could have started 5 minutes earlier and we could have seen it very faint. And I want to show you another sunrise. Look at this up here. Just noticed them yesterday. They obviously have been emerging for a while, but I hadn't paid attention to them. And I was inside here behind me in Ducanalton praying, and I looked out and I saw this yellow, and I was wondering, what's that from? And then I realized future dates. So we can invite you to a date here in Magdala. These will be in maybe July, August, September. They'll be ripe. Dates are so nutritious, so delicious. Such a gift of creation, and every tree has its own kind, its different sort of fruit. So there comes a very pale sun. Not convincing, but undeniable. We have an interesting situation today with the readings. We have Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar. Two different faiths, two different religious systems, belief systems. And one wants to impose itself on the other. It's hard for us sometimes to tolerate that others can be other. It's a challenge. Isn't this amazing? Yesterday, the sun was out at 6:29, and today it's already 6:45 or afterwards right now. So 15 minutes later, 16 minutes later. And Nebuchadnezzar wants to enforce these kids to believe. It's young people. Interesting. 3 fellows, 3 lads. And he wants to change their whole religion. And he's ready to do it by fire. Put them through fire. These people here walked yesterday and the day before from Cana to Magdala, about 30 people from Spain, a bunch of young people, but also a bunch of people with serious years. I think there's a couple of grandparents there. And they did the Jesus Trail. And now today they'll walk on to Capernaum. Oh, these are my friends from Texas. We're on live here, people, so behave yourselves. We got some pastors here from Texas enjoying the sunrise. If you want to say anything here on live, you're welcome. This is the lead, the senior pastor here. God is good. We believe that, yeah. Well, we just started talking right now about the buenos días, son los caminantes, caminando hay camino. These are some of the Spanish people who walked from Cana to here. on yesterday and the day before. So the first reading we have today is from Daniel, and it's the story of the 3 boys in the furnace. And Nebuchadnezzar wants them to believe his religion. So he's trying to force them, and he puts on some pressure, well, rather some heat. So it's an incredible account of the encounter of 2 different faith systems. And the thought that came to me this morning was, it's really amazing because, he has all the force of his army and his strongest soldiers and his burning furnace, and they're solid in their faith. But if we go from another perspective and we think, oh, there was some fish, right? That was a catfish probably there. There are a bunch of catfish all along the shore here in different spots. They're mating now. Buenos dias. Where are you going today? Cafarnaum? Tabcha. Very good. So they're going to walk up to the multiplication of the loaves. Buen provecho. So they're... Imagine if Daniel and his 2 buddies wanted to convince Nebuchadnezzar by reasoning to believe the way they believed in the one true God. What would happen? What would be the outcome? And I think they wouldn't have gotten very far. If he was willing to burn them alive, then how could they succeed in convincing him? And yet he was changed. It's really a conversion story, because maybe it's not a complete conversion, because at this time, you see, it's the whole battle with polytheism. So I would even think that many of the chosen people believe that there are many different gods. And it takes a long time to develop the faith in the one true God, the pure faith. And we're struggling still today, And they have a golden statue, and there was once upon a time a golden calf, and there's still a lot of gold around today that draws a lot of people. So this is an interesting scenario. And then the thought came, they couldn't do it by arguing. They wouldn't convince. They wouldn't be able to convince the king by arguing, but their life, their commitment did. And remembering that great line of St. Francis of Assisi, he said, "Preach always, and use words if necessary." So, we have the joy in our heart. We want to share our faith, but it's really our life. And the commitment of these kids was what did it. It wasn't arguing. And their commitment actually didn't do it completely either, because there was grace involved. But their commitment was essential to get the king's heart to open to that grace. Interesting, isn't it? And we have a lot of interreligious encounter today. The world is traveling and commerce and education. There are college students from all over the world in every university around the world nowadays. So there's a lot of interreligious encounter also in the media. The media exposes to everything. I mean, you could find any philosophy you want on YouTube. And a lot of people invest a lot in arguing. And they're very passionate about it. And they want to convince and force and drive the other person, like you're herding cattle in Texas, into their area. And there's other very big factors that's involved. There's the factor of life witness. And I was wondering if sometimes our faith is a little bit like the sun today. It's kind of hiding behind a lot of haze, and then it doesn't light up the world. It's delayed. We had a delayed sunrise today, 15 minutes, to get to see the sun. And how long it takes sometimes for our faith to reach others, because it's covered up with a lot of stuff. And that's why the martyrs are so powerful. And the word martyr is witness. So the people who lay down their lives with that serenity and trust and without hatred, which is the great characteristic of the Christian witness, that there's no hatred, animosity, I wonder if those are those Spanish kids. I think they might be. They're going out to swim there. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the live stream, but we can hear them because all that makes a lot of noise over there. There's the Mount of Beatitudes right up there. Just where the kids are right now, and those plastic covers up there, they have a little grove of trees, and that's where the little chapel is of the Mount of Beatitudes. And Capernaum then is about 15-20 minutes walking down to the right from there if you were to go through the fields. And it's probably right across just at the tip of the brush there on the other side. Now the sun is getting more serious, so that can be a prayer today for our faith life. To brighten up, but especially to radiate through our life. This would be where the metal hits the meat, where the rubber hits the road, right? People, I got a little commitment today with some people, so I'm going to do this short this morning. Be patient with me, or maybe you're happy that since we started later, we're going to call it a day right now. And the gospel then it's kind of the same dialectic in the gospel. You know, it's a huge challenge between Jesus and the religious leadership about his identity and his unity with the Father. And actually, you know what? It's the exact same thing. Jesus has to go through the furnace, and that's why these two readings are right here before Holy Week together. Jesus has to go through the furnace of Calvary for the world to believe in the Father, in the love of the Father. So that's the connection. I was glad I didn't forget that now. It's so powerful, you know, that it's his willingness to go through the furnace. You know, the biblical scholarship can argue if the story of Daniel is a parable, that's a teaching parable, you know, because how can you heat up a furnace 7 times hotter than a furnace, you know? Hey, those kids just fell in over there. They're screaming not because they were bitten by a shark, it's just a bit cold. So that's why they were screaming here. So they did get in there. And actually that's what the girls made a sign for swimming, and I didn't get it, I didn't pick up on it. But there we saw them getting into the water and splashing to keep warm now. And the challenge will be to get out, but they're kids, so that guy got out, he has strong muscles. An old guy like me finds it hard to get out there. People, God bless you. See you later, alligators. Hey, you guys want to be in our selfie moment here? I always do a selfie moment just to wave to the people, you know. Here we got Texas here represented. Texas. The Lone State, the Lone Star State. The Republic of Texas, or what is it called? See you later, people. God bless you. That sun is coming nice and strong now.